Alright, so what we've got here is our character up to this point. We've got the leg and now we've got the arm. Now one of the other things we need to do is we need to build the body. And how we go about building him is from, we're going to start again, same exact way. We're going to do a polycylinder and change the subdivision axes to 8. And now what we'll do is we'll scale down and position, and we're going to do the same thing we did with everything else up to this point. Now, one of the things that this particular character doesn't have well on a reference is the front part of his body. The way his body is built, he's a superhero, so he's extremely strong, and his muscles are extremely exaggerated at the same time. So he's got this bodybuilder type build, and what we need to do is not only go off the front references in this case, because we sort of can't. We can't really. We'll be sort of visualizing and implying maybe a little bit too much in this region here where his arm is overlapping his lats here, his muscle, the lats. So the lat, if I remember correctly, it's called the lat. Anyway, it's right here, and you'll see on the back part of his muscle, it goes right around here. So his shoulder starts then at this area, and his shoulders are this is going to give us a little bit better idea of how to start to build around that area. Now the other thing, obviously, let's go ahead and scale it in our side viewport. That's always a good idea. And that's good for now. And go ahead and you can start. I'm going to use my reference lines here. So I'm going to start one right beneath his belt. And maybe make this just slightly larger. And I'm going to begin the extruding process. And in this case, I'll do a little bit just for the belt. And then I'll go up, and then I'll scale in, and then up, and then up. And here is where I want to reference the back. So his actual body, the back of his body begins to sort of curl in like so. I'll do one more up to this point, something like that. And that's where I'm going to stop, and I will select the object and soften edge, and now I will go ahead and check my back reference here, and I'm going to match these up to my references. Okay. And maybe slightly smaller. And then here, I think I'm going to make this slightly wider. And maybe just bring this side in. Not sure yet. Something like that. So let's take a look at it. And this is the most important place where it should look right. And this looks starting to look right. So his arm is starting to come into here where his body meets. And that's what we got so far for the body. Now we can also go ahead and one last thing. We can, depending on how your model works out here, you can begin to build this down. Not absolutely necessary because we can get a better sense. It depends on your model itself. In this case, I'm gonna probably start to. I'll get the other leg in there, but once I get up to that point, probably I'll start to combine it all together once I get there. If it were somewhat different body style, I would probably build down a little bit more into the groin area, but given this particular reference and model, I think I'm going to leave it alone for the time being. So this is where I'm at so far, and that's all we're trying to get to up to this point. And I'm going to use my multi-cut tool, and I'm going to just add two little edges in here for the time being, and that's just to give it a little bit stronger sense of that belt in there. I'm going to get into a little bit more on how to go about detailing these areas. So when we smooth them out, he starts to look a little bit more like this, but these are a little bit harder edges, and yeah, so once we get there, we'll tackle that part, but for the time being, this is where we're at, and thanks for watching. Next we'll mirror the arm over. Actually, next we'll build the hand, and then we'll start the mirroring process, and the foot, and then we'll mirror. So that's all we got for now, and yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll build the hand and the foot next in the next couple videos, and then we'll mirror it and combine everything. And then we'll build the head last, because that'll probably be the most complicated part of this process. Okay, so see you next time.